Hello guys, and welcome to an Ironman crafting guide. So for this guide, you're going to need a few high requirements if you want to do it efficiently. However, you don't technically need them, but I do recommend having them. So basically what you're going to want to have is at least 77 magic, and you're also going to want to have the quest Lunar Diplomacy done. You're also going to want to have access to Fossil Island, and you're also going to want to be planting giant seaweed. This will come in handy, and you'll see why in a minute. If you don't know how to plant giant seaweed, so all you're going to need is you're going to need some seaweed spores, which can be obtained various methods. They spawn under the water. You can also get them through certain monster drops on Fossil Island, and other ways through mermaid tears. However, I just normally wait for spawns while I'm down there harvesting. And you're also going to want ultra compost, because what this does is it'll make your yield higher as well from the giant seaweed. And then giant seaweed is obviously just right here, you bank it. And so basically to get there, you're just going to want to take your items off, your hand items off, and you can just get to this island. So basically how you get to this island is when you get on Fossil Island, first you'll be right here, and if you have the agility level, you can just go through here and run up to this transportation sign and take it to the island. However, you can also just use this and it'll take you to the island. That's probably the best way, to be honest. And so basically once you're on this island, it's just the island, you just row to the island. Once you're on the island, you just right click the rowboat and dive. You don't need to have like a helmet or a backpack on. I've already harvested, so I can't harvest right now, but you basically just come down here and there's two patches. You harvest from both of them. Magic secateurs will not work here, so you don't need to bring them if you don't want to. Won't do anything for you. And basically you just use your compost and your seed on these two patches and wait for them. They take about 40 minutes to grow. You can also pay her if you would like, because what it'll make so they don't die that way. I don't do it though. It's kind of expensive. I think it's like 200 nummulites, so it's a bit expensive. Over time it adds up. Nummulites aren't really too easy to come by unless you're going to do a lot of combat with certain monsters on Fossil Island. So basically, yeah, it's not really worth it. But like I said, for the spawns, they spawn right around in this whole general area. So you can just kind of sit here if you want. You can also skill down here. So you can go up, bank, get stuff, come down, skill, and just kind of like let that happen or whatever. Or you can just, while you're harvesting, there's a chance they'll spawn. Or like I said before, you can kill certain things on Fossil Island to be able to get them as a drop. So we're just going to go back up. And they spawn in different amounts. You can get 1, 2, or 3 spawns. I'm not sure if they can spawn over 3. I think I've only ever gotten 3 at once, but yeah, they can spawn pretty high amounts. So basically that's how you get giant seaweed, and you want to make sure you do that for a while until you have a lot. And once you have a lot, then you can start doing this method pretty easily. So you're also going to want to have quite a decent stack of astral runes, and if you have a tome of fire, use that, and also use this air staff. And if not, then basically you're just going to have those runes right there. You're going to want to have astral, fire, and air. So I would assume it's probably best to just wear the air staff regardless. And if you don't have like a steam staff or a tome of fire, you're going to want to probably just wear the air staff anyway, and then just bring fire runes in your inventory. It'll just cost a little bit more money for your Ironman account, but it's not a big deal. But if you have a tome of fire, it'll save you a lot of runes, so just use both of those. So you only use 2 astrals per cast. And so basically that's the spell we're going to be using, is Super Glass Make. So basically what this does is, if I hover over it, it'll tell you, it makes it so you can make glass without a furnace. So basically what that means is it'll combine both the seaweed and the bucket of sand, which normally how you do it is you have to cook the sand to make soda ash, and then you combine soda ash with the bucket of sand, and that makes your molten glass. So basically now you don't, basically with this you can just use the seaweed and the bucket of sand and it'll instantly just make all of it. Now the thing is, why you want giant seaweed is it counts for more soda ash than normal seaweed. Normal seaweed only gives you 1 soda ash. I believe giant seaweed can give you 3 to 6. I could be wrong on that amount, I'm not 100% sure, but it is a random amount you do get, and it's quite a high substantial amount. So basically the method that I use to do this, so I just use the bank here on the island so that I can always go down and get more seaweed after the 40 minutes is up. You can also use Rune Light, and it'll show you the timer. So if I go to timers, it'll tell you obviously when that's done. But if I go to, I think it's special, it'll tell me that my seaweed is done at 9 o'clock, which is in 10 minutes from now. So that's pretty cool. So basically, all you're gonna want to do is open the bank. You're not gonna want to set your all to anything. You just want to have it set to 1 because you have to take out different amounts of each. So your X amount should be set to 12, and then just left click your 2 giant seaweeds out. So you want 2 of them in your inventory. Right click the bucket of sand. You want to take 12 out. Now there's a method where you can take 3 and 18. However, then you're going to have to pick them up off the ground, and I do not recommend that because if you have to pick them up off the ground, that's a time waste, and on top of that, people could also pick them up if they see them if you don't pick them up in time, and I just don't think it's efficient. You'll save a little bit of runes because it'll give you more molten glass per cast, and every cast, which is the whole inventory at once, is only the 2 runes, so you're basically spending more runes doing it this way, but you're saving time and you're getting more XP per hour. So overall, it's a lot better to do it this way. So basically, all you're going to have to do is, like I said, take out 2 giant seaweed and 12 buckets of sand. That's the best method that I can think of. And then once you've done that, all you have to do is click on Super Glass Make, and it'll just instantly make everything into glass. So basically what this is more glass than what I had of buckets of sand. So basically the reason why that is because these give a random amount of soda ash, and for some reason it actually just makes you get more molten glass. As you can see, it's random amounts, so you're not going to get 12 molten glass per, you're going to get way more, which is always great. See, look, I just got a huge amount that time. You're going to get huge stacks of molten glass. It's crazy, and all you have to do is just the same thing over and over. You don't have to switch your F keys. I was just kept doing that, but yeah, you can just kind of do it like this, and that's why I use this bank too as well, because it's also very easy to rebank. Like, you can just go from there and then click on the bank. You have a little bit of a delay while you're doing the spell that you can't bank, unfortunately, but you can just kind of do click it a couple seconds after you do the spell, or just spam click it like I do. It doesn't really matter. You're going to open it eventually once the timer is done, so you can just do that, and it's pretty straightforward and easy. You just continue the process over and over and over until all of your buckets are turned into molten glass. It's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. It's very good XP. The XP per hour you can actually get just doing this part is like somewhere in the area of 50,000 XP in each, maybe a little bit more for crafting because you get higher XP drop, but at least 50k in magic, probably around 70k in crafting, which is pretty crazy, because you're not doing this for necessarily XP. You're doing this for the molten glass, which is for the XP, but you're not doing this part for the XP. This part's just the collecting the molten glass. You don't have to use a furnace, because using a furnace with this is so hectic, and basically it's no AFK at all, and on top of that, it's not really efficient or anything, so it's unfortunate. I think I keep taking out 3, unfortunately. But yeah, so you can basically be expecting 50,000 magic XP per hour doing this, and 70k crafting, which is pretty cool. And just basically do that, and pretty much just continually repeat the process over and over. It's pretty easy, pretty hard on the hand because you have to go really fast if you want to get optimal XP rates, but you don't have to do it. Well, you have to do a lot of it, but you don't have to do it all at once if you don't want to. Depending on how many giant seaweed you have, you could just do it whatever the amount of giant seaweed you get, and then just stop until the next 40 minutes if you wanted to, but I just kind of stocked up my seaweed. So yeah, pretty much that's just how you do it. But it's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. It's more for the high level hardcores or regular Ironman, but it's not really for maybe the lower level, just because you do need 77 magic and you do need lunar diplomacy done, which has some high requirements in mining and all that. So pretty not super low requirements, but it is worth doing if you have the requirements. And this is just the method that I do, is the 212. So good, way better than the 318. 318 is just not worth it in my opinion, so that's just why I don't do it. and there you go. It's pretty straightforward. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned something new in this video, and if you did, please give this video a like, and also subscribe if you're not already. I make different guides all the time, hardcore Ironman, regular Ironman, main account, whatever. If you want a guide, I'll make it, and just let me know in the comments if there's a different guide you guys want for Ironman specifically. I would love to make Ironman guides, more of them at least. Especially if they are going to be helping a lot of people, especially maybe new hardcores. I know this one was for higher levels, but I do have a few methods I can show you guys for lower Ironman accounts, brand new accounts, that if you just have never made an Ironman account and you want to start, you can use those, and that'll help you a little bit. So anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.